My name is Emma Baker, and today I'll be talking to you about teen pregnancy. In 2005, Teen People magazine ran a story about Heather's use of her boyfriend. Heather and Tim began engaging in sexual intercourse when they were 14 and 16 respectively. Within a year, Heather found herself pregnant at the age of 15. Neither her nor Tim were in the position to take care of the child and subsequently put the baby up for adoption. Heather sees this as one of the hardest decisions she made in her life, but she did it so that she could go to college and go on to have a normal life, and so that her child would have a stable home and bright future. Being a teen mother could have jeopardized both. Teenagers should not have to make these tough decisions. They should know beforehand that there are consequences for their actions. Learning the hard way is not always beneficial. That is why it is the job of parents, friends, family members, teachers, principals, coaches, government officials, police officers, healthcare providers, religious leaders, etc. to teach these young adults and adolescents about sexual education, prevention, and the Word of God before it's too late. Recently, I turned 20. I finally made it out of my teen years for the most part, unscathed, without a drug addiction, teen pregnancy, or many of the other issues that affect teens of today. But I do know a handful of girls that I grew up with and went to school with that had children out of wedlock before the age of 20. I can think of 5 teen mothers off the top of my head right now. One of my old best friends, for example, has a 5-month-old son. I know the struggle she goes through already, trying to pay the bills, and how her dreams and goals have changed. I speak from the sympathy of a friend, and I come from an outsider's view, but many of us do on subjects like this. I can say that I have accompanied friends to the drugstore to buy pregnancy tests or the morning after pill, and spent all-nighters going through the emotions of what would happen if their test came back positive. I've spent time looking at clinics and information for friends, and I've attended youth groups with sexual education. Teen pregnancies, though no longer on the rise, are still a relevant issue that needs to be addressed, discussed, and prevented through education, religion, and discourse. When discussing teen pregnancy, you must realize that it changes the lives of teens significantly. Teenagers are interested in things like hair, what Alicia Keys is singing about, makeup, texting, nail polish. They're not interested about taking care of a child, playing with them, and trying to figure out how they're going to pay the bills. Although the gift of life is never negative, teens and adolescents are unprepared to take on the job of parenthood. The fact: 8 out of 10 teenage mothers are single mothers. 2/3 of childbirths by mothers under the age of 18 are unplanned. In 2009, 409,840 babies were born to teen mothers ages 15 through 19. Despite a decrease in teen pregnancies for over a decade, the trend is slowly returning, and the number of teen pregnancies is slowly falling back up the curve. Our society has become more accepting, leading to the rise in pregnancy. Trends among teen pregnancies are similar to trends among adult women. 40% of all teen and adult women are single and giving birth. Television channels and media like MTV have glamorized teen pregnancy, with shows like Teen Mom and 16 Pregnant, compelling irresponsible teenagers into stardom. The 100% way, and the only Christian way, preventing pregnancy is abstinence. Previous programs had abstinence-based curriculum. Since the first inauguration of President Barack Obama, there has been a shift in the mission of teen pregnancy prevention and treatment. The shift has strayed from the original stressing of abstinence to a push for protection and prevention method. This new method believes that the original abstinence motif was not effective, and therefore teenagers should be educated about sex, the dangers, and the way one can protect themselves instead. These methods include the use of condoms and birth control, and other contraceptives, and explain the fallacy of the pull-out method, which many teens incorrectly believe to be effective. Many argue that government should not spend $102 million on abstinence-only programs, but as Christians, we must realize that this is the only moral way of addressing the issue. While we must use our moral codes to make decisions, we must be aware of the facts. Sinning is inevitable, therefore, so is premarital sex. As Christians, we must stress the importance of abstinence. We must also provide teenagers with a well-rounded sexual education. A cooperation on abstinence education and protection and prevention will be most beneficial. We must adapt to the secular world without assimilating. The use of teen Bibles rather than regular Bibles in Christian youth groups can help make teenagers make the right decisions when it comes to sex. There are plenty of Bibles edited especially for different age groups. Teen Bibles, like such, incorporate lessons about many pressures that the modern teenager faces, including drugs, alcohol, obeying your parents, school, and most importantly, sex. An example, in the chapter of Leviticus, there's an insertion called the direct line. Usually, when you do the right thing, good things happen. But what if you make some bad choices? I mean, really bad choices, like stealing and getting in trouble with the police, or drinking and driving, and wrecking the family car, or going too far sexually and discovering your partner. Are you ruined for life? This Bible chapter warns us there are tragic consequences for disobeying God, but it also promises that God will not totally reject you, even for serious sins. You don't want to commit any of those serious sins, but if you do something wrong, remember God's promise. God will welcome you home and bless you again. We should not villainize sex. God wants sex to be beautiful, but this beauty comes from the intimacy of a man and woman that are married. Stress the importance of marriage. Parents, educators, government, and religious organizations must work together to prevent the increase in teen pregnancy. There are numerous ways to address this issue, and there are programs already trying to do that. One major way to address it is through programs in government and community-run facilities and initiatives. The President's Teen Pregnancy Prevention Initiative purpose is to decrease the amount of teen pregnancy by educating young people. Their goal is to reduce the rate of pregnancies and births in target areas, increase access to youth programs for sexual education and prevention, create connections between teen pregnancy prevention programs and local clinics, educate stakeholders about relevant evidence-based and evidence-informed strategies to reduce teen pregnancy, and data on youth and resources in target communities. Parental involvement is key to reducing teen pregnancy. Parents and guardians should be encouraged to start discussions with their adolescents and teenagers about sex and prevention methods. With God, man can do all things. Religion should be used to influence Christian teenagers to stay pure. Stress the values of the Lord. God values purity and willing love. Premarital sex is a sin. God created sex as the joining of a man and a woman that are married. But because of the temptations of sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife and each woman her own husband. Corinthians 7:2. It takes a village to raise a child. It is the community's responsibility to prevent teen pregnancy, not just parents. Teachers, peers, local store owners, police officers, coaches, and family are all part of a child's development. They all play different roles. Whether it be the coach that inspired a child to play college basketball, or a police officer who drove you home after you missed your curfew, or a teacher that inspired you to start a journal and set up a writing career, or the store owner who refused to sell underage kids cigarettes. The people of the community have an impact on the children of that community, whether directly or indirectly. They should use this impact to instill moral behavior and warn children about the consequences for their actions. Teen pregnancy is an epidemic that must be addressed. With the country that is moving further and further away from conservative traditions, we must stand up for important causes against the secular world. Currently, abstinence is being pushed out of the lessons of sexual education. It is important that teens are well equipped for today's pressures and are taught preventative methods, but they should also know that the only 100% way of preventing pregnancy is abstinence. Teen pregnancy is immoral because God not only finds illegitimacy to be a disgrace, but says that premarital sex is a sin. In order to prevent teen moms, we must prevent teen sex. It is time that Christians and other people come together on an issue and realize that abstinence alone and prevention alone is not the key, but is joining those two. We are all responsible for our community. We must help to reach out to teens, adolescents, and young adults so that they know that there is support all around them. While sexual education programs are moving away from the abstinence-only method, we must continue to instill a biblically Christian worldview into our children of God. God values purity. Premarital sex and sexual immorality is a sin. pregnancies are a result of mental sex. God intended for men and women to be married before engaging in sexual activity. And it is always important that us as Christians continue to stress that celibacy is not outdated nor uncool. It is time to come together as one people to fight against this growing problem. Address, discuss, and educate are the steps to a solution. Talk to the children and young adults in your life about the Word of God and what the Bible says about sex. It is our responsibility as friends, as family, as coaches, neighbors, teachers, counselors, pastors, and members of the